So Bex, I'm going to hand over to you, and I would love to hear about how you do some of your Zumba classes online. So over to you, me on mute.
Cool. Hiya. So I've got Elizabeth here and Florence here, and this is kind of one of my top tips of don't worry if your family get involved. I think the classic I had doing a Zumba class was Florence came in as a tortoise with the washing basket on her back. And everybody just thought it was brilliant. And you know, I was stressed about it to start with, but actually it made my classes what they kind of were. And I teach a big group of Silver Swans. That was my which is ballet for over 55s as well. And that was one group that is really busy. I'm in Herefordshire and I have about 35 every week at the courtyard. And I thought, oh my goodness, will they all be able to get to grips with this new life of technology? And they all did. And it was my busiest class. I had about 25 every week coming on Zoom. So, and they loved seeing the girls. Like Flo would turn up in a tutu and, as I say, as a tortoise quite frequently, but it made it what it was. You know, it just brought connection. That was a big thing for me. They kept them connected, and particularly for that group, they like their routine of having +1 on a Thursday is their ballet lesson, and to keep that routine for them through lockdown was a kind of a saviour, really, was the feedback. So I'll go back, I've skipped on, but I had very limited technical knowledge. I am a trained dancer. I'm not a trained technician. I would always be the person in the studio or at the courtyard going, can I have some technical assistance, please? Like, this doesn't work. So I'm rubbish with things like that. So I could see that this was coming. I had a word with my insurers, like the beginning of March, to see how am I allowed to teach? And they said Zoom, so you can see your participants. That was it then. So I spent the weekend, I think it was like the 12th, 13th of March, with my fellow teachers, and we just practiced on each other, got to know how do you mute, how do you do this, and just got stuck in, spent loads of time working it out, and then we launched and just put our classes on and went from there, really. And I would just say that just as a top tip. Oh, there's the ding dong yoga bells. No, not right now, thanks. I would say just give everything a go. And for me it was, you know, this is what I do. To stop teaching, to stop dancing would have been a nightmare. So it was that fight or flight. What do you do? And I just cracked on and stuck in, worked early in the morning, late at night to figure everything out, to know your market and who your market is, emails, contact details, so you can just launch them with stuff what you're doing all the time, get all over social media, tell them when and where you're doing classes, trial the technology. I think Di said she went on a course. I've been on a couple of courses to just grab good information and tips, and don't be scared to fail. Don't be scared if it goes wrong. Don't beat yourself up, as long as, like, your participants, they all understand we're all in the same boat, and yeah, like, keep flying, really. What happened then, so learn by doing. So then I had an idea to do in July. I did a joyful July because I practiced yoga, and I was practicing yoga more, meditating more, and came up with this idea that if that was useful for me, it would be to other people. So I did just put on Facebook, I'm going to be doing 10 minutes of yoga a day. It was pre-recorded though, so people could sign up and just do it where they want. And I had 300 people sign up, and I did it free. So it called it Joyful July, and then that got me into the, like, pre-recording, because my my yoga license said I could do pre-recorded stuff, on my insurance. So I then got into that kind of online, on-demand, kind of like you would with your TV. And everybody really enjoyed just doing it in their own time. And then I took August off live Zoom teaching to teach, to have a break. And because I've been at it non-stop with 2 kids in the house, my husband was a key worker out 12 hours a day trying to homeschool, and I just needed some time out. So and also then prepare for going back to live in flesh to flesh classes. So I just couldn't do it all. I was like, right, something needs to give. So I had to do all my risk assessments. So I then got into recording, but I didn't want to leave my clients who had supported me throughout. So I got into recording and set up like an on-demand package, called it Boogie Tone and Stretch with Becks for August. And I set it at £10 a week for 5 different classes. That's Zumba, Fit Steps, Silver Swans, Yoga and Bar Concept. Or you could do 2 weeks 15, 3 weeks for 25, or £30 for the month. And again, I had 60 people sign up to that. And then since I've gone back to live classes, people have been doing that haven't felt that they wanted to come back to live, because I couldn't do live and do Zoom. I couldn't be everywhere, so I kept that on demand package up, and that's really taken off. And then again, now we're back in lockdown again, I've got that all set up, so I found it much easier for me with the girls and live classes to do that. And I've gone this time in lockdown, I'm helping out in schools to keep them running. I found that was quite important. So I would say, just if you're an instructor, just chuck yourself into it. If it's your bread and butter, just say yes to everything. I've done different things for charities, seated ballet for Yeleni, complementary therapy and support, which help cancer as well. So just if somebody gives you an opportunity, then say yes. Keep finding different things and learning, and just keep at it, really. I think that's all.